Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring the Monster Wrangler core rulebook. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review featuring this tabletop RPG, where you race, train, and fight with your monsters, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the game mechanics section. This section starts with a pretty bad subsection. Those of you that actually roleplay in tabletop role-playing games can probably imagine why. Well, let's get started. The chapter presents the core game mechanics of Monster Wrangler. It explains how you use rules to provide structure for your sessions, of course, and you can tweak, modify any sort of rule here. There is even a variant rule regarding whether or not characters can die. I think this is great to represent those sorts of monster trainer type of media like Pokémon, Monster Rancher, where the main characters never die. So if you want that sort of experience, you can have it with this variant rule. Then you have information on measuring time. Like in many other role-playing games, time is a fluid thing here. At times, perhaps, just a few seconds or hours pass. In other situations, perhaps entire days. It all depends on context. During combat and other tense moments, where every second counts, Monster Wrangler uses combat rounds to impose some structural order upon the situation. But outside of combat, time is handled in a much less structured manner. It all depends on the situation. Perhaps your character spends half an hour gathering information or clues, perhaps half a day. Unlike combat, which usually takes a few seconds each round. There is also a section detailing general game terms. Some are pretty standard when it comes to role-playing games, such as the Game Master, non-player characters, player characters, etc. But some others are more specific to this game, for example, Rage, Monsters, and a Wrangler's abilities, such as Botanist or Mechanic. There are even details on how to play Monster Wrangler without using a grid. If you like to use your playmats, battle mats, etc., you can use them with this game, but you can also play it using your mind's eye. Then we have details on storytelling. It says here, Monster Wrangler is a game about storytelling that is set in a world filled with monsters and the people who train them as pets. No, this is incorrect. Monster Wrangler is not a game about storytelling. It is a game about role-playing. When you are telling a story, it is very different. For example, the Monster Wrangler approached the battle stadium, fought against the trainers, was victorious, and returned to his home. That's telling a story. Role-playing is, I approach the entrance of the battle stadium, and I say to the man at the entrance, "Excuse me, sir, I would like to sign up my monster for this competition." The game master would say something like, the man looks at you and then at your monster and smirks. Then he says, "Sure, sign up over there, kid." You see, it is very different. Just because some other people say that tabletop role-playing games is telling a story, it doesn't mean that it's accurate or true. Then we have details on how players roll the dice to see whether the attacks of their monsters are able to strike an opponent, or whether they are able to correctly mix up a particular chemical compound in a laboratory. It all depends on the tests, the checks. When you play Monster Wrangler, one player is going to be the game master, the other players are going to be the Wranglers. The game master is going to be describing the game world, presenting the situations, the challenges, and the Wranglers or the players are going to be interacting with that world, of course, through their player characters. And then it says how this role-playing game can present some situations similar to television shows featuring monster trainers and the like. So yes, you can tell a story after you finish playing, but you don't storytell, you roleplay. And here it says, the important distinction between television shows and role-playing games is that the writers of television shows always know how their characters are going to react to any given situation. The same thing could be said about the difference between telling a story and role-playing. It's the same thing, so it's a huge contradiction. Now it says here that the game master also needs to prepare the situations, of course. And then we have a pretty lackluster example or sample of play. It starts out pretty decent, but later on it says, the game master speaks. Okay, let's handle things one at a time. Research Stagger can attempt a difficulty 2 nature, mind, skill roll to pick up a blood set. No. You don't step out of character during a tabletop role-playing game. You can inform mechanics-related information such as, I rolled a 12, or in the case of the Game Master, make a difficulty 2 nature, mind, skill roll. That's it, you're not going to be having a conversation with the players. Role-playing is not having a conversation. Role-playing is not telling a story. Role-playing is not a guessing game. Role-playing is not a Mother May I game. It's just describing what your character is going to do during a particular situation. My character gets close to the door, presses his ear against the door and tries to listen. My character walks up to the non-player character, or walks up to Johnny or Josh or whoever, and tells him, watch out, they are coming. Or my character commands his monster to charge at the enemy. You see, it's as simple as that. Describing your actions, that's it. Or you could be more dramatic, like, go, Stagwar, like Pokémon. But this example, it breaks immersion all the time. It is handled as a conversation, it is not role-playing. And don't think that I am just talking nonsense. Take a look at my actual plays in the description below. Compare them with the many other actual plays here in YouTube. You're going to see some horrible sessions such as, can my character use this ability to accomplish that? And the Game Master, I don't know. Does your character have this ability? And the other guy, no, I'm going to attempt something else. Can my character attempt to do, no, horrible, terrible. I approach the door and try to pick the lock. The Game Master could say something like, make a lock picking roll. The player could say, I rolled a 14. The Game Master could say, you easily open the door. Or in case it's a miss, this lock is beyond your level of skill, you cannot open it. It's as simple as that, and immersion is created. Anything else, any other thing, is not roleplay. It's something else. Roleplay is roleplay is roleplay. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about using dice and many other things related to mechanics. So yes, this section is pretty lackluster. It presents roleplay as a storytelling or conversation rather than roleplay in a tabletop role-playing game. I'm also going to put a link in the description below, a couple of links to my beginner's guide to roleplay and how to obtain information through roleplay. You don't need to say something like, what do I see around the corner? No. I carefully approach the corner and take a look. Or I carefully approach the corner and peek around as silently as possible to see what's up ahead. As simple as that. Do you need to know the color of something? Instead of saying, what's the color of that object? No. I pick up the object and examine it in order to appreciate its color. Or I look at the object in order to appreciate its color. Very simple. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and see you later.